Okay, so here's a thought I've been wrestling with. What if something we usually link with power, something that seems designed to lift up one group,
Hmm.
what if it actually ends up disempowering everyone, including, maybe especially, the very group it's supposed to benefit?
That's a really provocative starting point, and it leads us right into our topic today.
Exactly. Today, we're not just scratching the surface. We are really digging into this critical and, I think, often counterintuitive idea. How
Delicious.
the system of patriarchy, which, let's face it, many people see as solely benefiting men,
Mm.
how it actually causes pretty significant harm to men themselves.
Yeah, and for this deep dive, we're leaning heavily on the just profound insights of bell
A
hooks.
foundational voice on this.
Absolutely. Specifically, we're looking at excerpts from her really powerful book, The Will to Change: Patriarchy's Impact on Men.
Such a vital work.
It really is. It's compassionate, but it's also incredibly potent in its examination. She defines patriarchy not simply as, men being in charge.
Right, it's more complex.
Much more. She sees it as a system, an institutionalized system of male control that, and here's the paradox, often ends up limiting men's own emotional freedom, their own capacity for real love.
Okay, so that sets up our goal then. For you, the listener, we really want to unpack how these patriarchal systems socialize men.
How they're taught to be men,
Yeah.
essentially.
And how that often limits their full humanity, maybe their ability to form genuinely loving reciprocal relationships.
And importantly, what a path towards healing might actually look like.
Straight from Hook's insights. And, right from the get-go, Bell Hooks hits us with this core argument that just shifts your perspective.
What's that?
She argues that boys, young men, they're taught from such an early age to suppress vulnerability, to suppress emotional honesty.
Could be strong in that very narrow sense.
Exactly. And the result, the profound consequence, as Hook sees it, is that it cuts them off
Cuts them off from what?
from what she calls the transformative power of love, that deep capacity for genuine empathy,
Yeah.
real connection, giving and receiving.
The things that make relationships work, really.
Absolutely. The things she sees as completely essential for human fulfillment.
What's so striking there is how Hooks clarifies this distinction. Men might hold structural power in society, right? They often do.
That's the common perception.
But she argues they're often emotionally disempowered,
Mhm.
especially in intimate relationships.
Where you need that vulnerability.
Exactly, where vulnerability is absolutely essential for any real connection. It's such a crucial distinction she makes.
So this societal pressure, this demand to be strong in this very rigid, narrow way,
Mm-hmm.
it effectively what severs them from a deeper sense of self, from connection.
That's precisely her point. It cuts them off from that deeper wellspring.
Wow, emotionally disempowered in the very spaces, the intimate spaces, where vulnerability is just paramount.
Yeah.
It really makes you think, how does Hooks trace the roots of this emotional stoicism? Does she connect it back to early socialization?
Oh, definitely. She argues men are often, socialized, conditioned to equate masculinity with emotional stoicism,
And with dominance,
control.
and with dominance, and with control. Yes, it's like a societal bargain almost.
Faustian bargain, maybe?
Kinda, yeah. Where the promise of power, that external power, comes at the cost of authentic internal connection.
So the very system designed, ostensibly, to make them strong,
Right.
paradoxically limits their full humanity, limits their capacity for genuine, loving relationships.
Exactly. It creates what she calls this myth of male power, a myth that ultimately leaves many men feeling quite isolated, even if they don't consciously realize why.
And it's not just about what men lose out on, is it? It's also about what they're actively taught not to do, what they learn to suppress.
Precisely. Hooks argues that real love, true love, requires honesty. It requires openness. It requires care.
Qualities that seem fundamental.
They are, but these are precisely the qualities that patriarchal norms often discourage men from practicing, sometimes subtly, sometimes overtly.
Can you give an example? Well, think about how many men struggle to express deep grief or profound joy even, or sometimes just simple affection.
Without feeling like they're being less masculine.
Exactly, without that fear cropping up. It's a really deep societal imprint we're talking.
That's a sobering thought.
Yeah.
So, okay, if patriarchy creates this kind of emotional void, these limiting definitions,
Mm-hmm.
What does Hooks suggest? How do you start to fill that void or break free?
Well, she points towards a few key things. One is the need for men to find support systems, real support.
People they can actually talk to.
Yes, and engage in honest conversations, really honest ones, and crucially, to seek out models of healthy masculinity.
And embody them.
And embody them, yes.
Right.
It's not just about tearing down the old restrictive ideas, though that's necessary.
It's also about building something new.
Exactly. Actively building up new, healthier ways of being a man in the world.
And she sees this as just an individual journey. Or is there more to it?
Oh, it's definitely deeper than just individual action. Hooks really highlights that healing masculinity isn't solely an individual task. Can't be.
Okay.
It's a truly collective act. It has to involve both men and women
How so?
by actively encouraging emotional growth in boys and men, and by consciously, collectively rejecting those toxic, outdated gender roles.
The ones passed down through generations.
Right, the ones that box everyone in.
Right.
This collective effort helps create a space,
Safer space.
a safer space for men to step outside those narrow confines without fear of judgment or ridicule.
That makes sense. It takes a village, as they say, but maybe to unlearn things too.
Absolutely, to unlearn and relearn together.
So as we kind of wrap up this part of the exploration, the real power in Bell Hooks' work, it seems, is how she just unmasks the cost of patriarchy for men themselves, showing that beneath that surface layer of societal power.
There's often this deep emotional isolation.
Yeah, especially like you said, in those really crucial, intimate relationships where you need vulnerability.
It's where the rubber meets the road, isn't it? And her call to action, it's profound. It reminds us that the antidote, the way out,
Lies in embracing those very things patriarchy often discourages.
precisely. Honesty, openness, care, qualities that sadly get stifled.
And that this healing, this isn't just on men.
No, it's a collective journey, absolutely. It demands that both men and women actively rethink what it means to be human first, and then what it means to be masculine beyond those old constraints.
Okay, so for men listening, what's the essential first step, according to Hooks, if they want to break this cycle?
It really involves finding those crucial support systems we mentioned.
Community.
Community, yes. Engaging in those honest, sometimes difficult conversations, and actively seeking out, internalizing models of healthy masculinity, not the myth.
It's about recognizing there's another way, a richer way maybe.
A richer, more fulfilling way to engage with the world, and crucially, with your own inner life, your own emotions.
Yeah.
Ultimately, Bell Hooks' message is just. It's powerful and it's urgent for men to live full, meaningful lives rooted in love and authenticity.
They have to be willing to challenge the system first.
They must first be willing to challenge the very system they were raised in, even the parts that seem to benefit them.
That takes courage.
It takes immense courage. It's a profound shift. And that vital transformation, she emphasizes, starts with one thing:
What's that?
the will to change.
The will to change. That really resonates.
It does. And maybe we can leave you, the listener, with that to reflect on. What might that will to change mean for your own understanding, your own actions?
And how can we all maybe foster spaces where that will, that desire to change and grow can actually flourish?
Something to think about.